This is the LSU Sports Radio Network, powered by People's Health.
LSU Fighting Tiger Football on Eagle 98.1 is brought to you locally by Our Lady of the Lake, Bayou GMC, Rouse's, Gulf State Toyota, Neighbors Federal Credit Union, Service Chevrolet, Pipe and Steel Industrial Fabrication, Super Chevy Dealers, Rev, Sterling Automotive, Lewis Mechanical, Arco Power Systems, and Supreme Automotive Group. This is LSU Fighting Tiger Football on Eagle 98.1, the Rock Station.
LSU Fighting Tiger Football is a presentation of the LSU Sports Radio Network, a division of LSU Sports Properties and Playfly Sports. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or streaming of the accounts and descriptions of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of LSU SP, Playfly Sports, or the university is strictly prohibited. Sports Radio Network, a division of LSU SP and Playfly Sports.
Trusted to finish what others start, Wesley Construction. Learn more at wesleyyusa.com or follow us on LinkedIn.
Eagle 98.1 WDGL and AC1 Baton Rouge. Eagle 98.1 Game Day is on the air. Presented by Super Chevy and Yingling, your local Super Chevy dealers and Yingling Flight. It's time to talk LSU football on the flagship home of the Tigers. Call 225-499-9898. It's Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Now, live from downtown Baton Rouge, here's Charles Hanagriff and Richard Dickson.
The Tigers ride their defense and special teams to a 20-10 victory over the Florida Gators to open SEC play, but the offensive questions remain as everybody exits Death Valley tonight. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Eagle 98.1 Game Day. I'm Charles Hanagriff, along with former Tiger Richard Dickson. Thanks to everybody, Smalls and everybody, for staying up late with us tonight. If you're in there, if you're in traffic, hang in there with us. If you're finishing up the tailgate, if you're on your way home or already there, thanks for being with us. LSU, for the third consecutive game, got an elite performance out of their defense. In addition to being extremely stingy against the rushing attack of the Florida Gators that held them to 2.9 yards per carry, and a defense that was that threw a shutout in the second half and only allowed 10 points for the game. They added turnovers to their repertoire, intercepting DJ Lagway 5 times and returning one of those for a touchdown. LSU's offense, unfortunately, did not really do a whole lot in the second half, and the offensive points that they got in the second quarter, well, there were some good plays, and there was a little bit of help from their opposition. The game started pretty poorly for LSU. 3 straight 3-and-outs. Florida got a field goal drive, and then one of the biggest plays of the game, an 87-yard touchdown catch and run that was wiped out by a holding penalty against Florida. This has been one of the, if you're on the other side, the Florida side, this is one of the things that has been driving you crazy, and it leads to the conclusion that Florida's just has not been a very well-coached football team. Too many penalties, things like substitution infractions and, spitting on other people. The execution of what they do is not all that pure. Now, they got LSU last year when they were playing pretty well at the end of the season, but tonight the mistakes were too numerous. Things got a little bit better in the second quarter. LSU got a field goal, although it was on a 14-yard drive. They got some plays loose for Aaron Anderson and Xavion Thomas. We're going to talk a lot about the offense, obviously, tonight, but Anderson and Thomas are two of the bright spots for LSU. When they've got the ball in their hands, they've done a pretty good job. In the second half, it was nothing but defense, and for Florida, turnovers. Gators had the ball 6 times in the second half. They punted 3 times and threw 3 interceptions, one of which was returned for a touchdown. But LSU's offense didn't score either. The Deshaun Spears interception for a touchdown was the only points of the game. LSU special teams were really, really good tonight. they would have made a clean sweep of the board had they not allowed a few long punt returns for Florida. But LSU's punt return game was good. Their kickoff return game was good. Ramos made both of his field goals, and Grant Chadwick had himself a night punting the football, over 50 yards per punt, and 4 of them going back inside the 20-yard line. You can win a game with defense and field position, and that's what LSU did tonight. Now, that's the good part. You have a absolutely rock-solid defense. You've got a superstar defense. The first-team defense through 3 games has allowed 17 points, and one of those was against what was then a top-5 team on the road. The other one is against an SEC team that has a quarterback that a lot of people think an awful lot of. But what we point out in the pregame and point out again here in the postgame, DJ Lagway essentially did not have an off season. He missed all of spring. He was compromised through most of his summer workouts through injuries, not his fault, and missed the beginning of training camp. And so you can really see that he needs reps. He needs to get into a rhythm. He's not there. LSU made him pay for it tonight. But LSU's defense has given up 17 points through 3 games, and the special teams have been good enough. And tonight they were really good. And you can win a lot of games like that. But you can't ignore the other side of the ledger. And what could be explained away in the first game, Rich, as playing a top-5 team on the road, we know that is no longer the case. Clemson has now lost twice and got the hell scared out of them for a half by Troy, who also lost today. What could have been sort of rationalized a week ago as a letdown against a group of 6 team, one that you were a 5 or 5.5 touchdown favorite over, can now only be looked at as an offense that is searching for answers. They do not have a whole lot of production in the traditional run game. This is something you and I have talked a lot about in both the film study, the Friday show, and on the post game. Caden Durham's 93 yards on 15 carries looks real good, but 51 of those came at the end when LSU was basically getting ready to put the game away. I like the 51 yards. The 51 yards are great, but it is not a consistent running game, and LSU really didn't get much out of anybody else. There's also not what you would call a real consistent down-the-field passing game. That's been explained away as a little bit of how LSU is being played in coverage. A lot of 2 deeps. Louisiana Tech played the shell, and we saw a little bit more of that tonight. The fact that teams are able to play that kind of coverage and still stop LSU's run game is concerning at this point. Now, what has LSU been able to do offensively? What have they had some success with? Well, the screen game has worked a little bit. What essentially end up being long handoffs have spread the field a little bit, and it's opened some things up in the middle in the intermediate game. And Anderson and Xavier Thomas have made some plays in there, Anderson especially, but Thomas as well, where that middle of the field, you throw enough of these outside bubble screens, enough of these outside plays, and eventually you will get these guys out of the middle. And they've hit Anderson on some plays, they've hit Thomas on some plays, and they hit Bauer Sharp on the really long play. But you got to wonder when teams will start to adjust to that. And do you have another pitch in your repertoire at that point to be able to counter that? Garrett Nussmeier had an off game last week. He was sort of all over the place. The numbers looked okay, but a lot of the execution wasn't there. Tonight, again, some shaky decisions. The interception was by far his worst throw of the season. LSU was going to have a penalty on the play anyway, and you just simply cannot make that throw. I still think the world of Nussmeier, but the last 2 games have not been the best for him. You're at the quarter pole. You've got a defense that's going to have you in position to win, I think, every week. Like a really good pitching staff with maybe a shaky offensive lineup in baseball, you're going to be in every game. And if the special teams continue to play the way they have, that's just going to be enhanced. But at some point, they're going to have to get a little bit better on the offensive side of the ball.
You got Paul Skeens on defense, and you got to figure out how to score some points. Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating because we think the world of Nussmeier. Like I watched him play a lot of games, watched a lot of film on him. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. I mean, it's like I listened to Brian Kelly's press conference on the way over here. And
he's frustrated.
He lost his mind when you talked about the offense. And look, yeah, he won the game, but there's questions about the offense. You've scored 23 points. This is the highest. What you said, 5 touchdowns in 3 games. I mean, this isn't winning offense. And it's a little bit different because the last few years we've had the best offenses in the world, but couldn't do anything on defense. So it's just frustrating because, look, Nuss has all the talent in the world, but I just don't feel like we can get in a heater. Like, we cannot get in a rhythm on offense to where, like, I talked to you earlier, like, when you get in your bag and it's everything I do is right. When you're a 3-point shooter and you make every shot, when you get hot, we just can't get hot on offense. It's like we hit one play and then we go back into a slump. We haven't been able to get into a rhythm.
And it's not all one thing. It's not all on Nussmeier.
3 sacks in 3 games is not bad. Like,
no.
My biggest concern, and everybody's biggest concern, was can we keep Nussmeier upright? We're keeping him upright. We're still not making the plays.
Yeah, they've done a decent job of protecting him. Some of the mistakes have come from clean pockets. Some of the times he's run out kind of when he didn't need to. We talked about one of the plays last week where he just kind of fell. The problems in the running game a week ago were also in some ways rationalized by the fact that Braylon Moore went down on the first play of the game. He is their best offensive lineman. Well, he was in there tonight and got a couple of holding penalties.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, it's not any one thing. Kelly was pretty salty in the post game. My take on that is this is a veteran coach. He knows he's got a good team. He knows his team has got some problems. And he's going to try to keep the spotlight on himself to shield the team from any kind of criticism that might hinder them. You know, saying you won the game is a really powerful comeback to anything. Notre Dame scored 40 points today and lost.
Yeah.
Tennessee scored 41 points today and lost. Arkansas scored 35 points today and lost. So you can say, hey, look, we scored plenty of points, but they lost, okay?
We played to win the game.
Played to win. It's a powerful comeback. Now, you go out and get beat 16-13 because your offense is in a slump, then you can't come back. And down the road, that might happen, okay? But for today, you won the game. And you put a lot of pressure on a quarterback that, again, the lack of an offseason, I think, is very apparent here. You saw DJ Lagway make some throws tonight that are very, very difficult throws to make. And his arm, his athleticism.
Hurt us more with his legs than I thought he'd done in the past.
This guy's a talent, okay? And if he goes through an entire offseason, I think he makes the jump from year 1 to year 2, and he's a lot better. But you can't miss that much time and not have it affect you. And I'll give you the one shining example that I can think of right off the bat is Joe Burrow in his time with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals have been terrible in the first couple of games of the season since he's been there. And why? Because in, I think, 3 or 4 of the 5 seasons he's been there, he has been out for some or all of training camp and has spent the offseason rehabbing an injury. Now, not this year. They snuck it up on offense last week. But you get what I'm saying. You talked a ton about how the summer workouts, the team gels, the receivers and quarterback. Lagway didn't have that, and he threw 5 interceptions tonight. He throws 2 interceptions tonight. Maybe Florida wins the game. I don't know.
I mean, look, the defense is playing great. We've gone through this. 3 games in, we've watched a lot of film. The defense is playing. Well, I told you before the air, if this defense played somewhat like this, Brian Kelly's probably won 2 national championships.
Yeah. If you head back with some of the.
But right now, I mean, when did the offense kind of start to struggle? Like, I like a lot of things Joe Salome does. Every time people talk trash about him and we bash him, then I go back and watch the film and I kind of justify what was going on. But if I said my problem with the offensive play calling is we just can't get into a rhythm. We never get into a where we found your weakness and we're going to freaking gash it.
It's tough to get in a rhythm when your offensive line is a little bit inconsistent.
I'm not blaming the offensive line at this
No,
point,
hang on.
Yeah.
And your quarterback is inconsistent.
Because
right
the offensive
now,
line was the biggest question. And look, we've given up 3 sacks in 3 games, 2 of them against La Tech. Both of them weren't the offensive line's fault. And I'm not saying they're playing great, but in my opinion, when I've break down the film and I've watched all these games, other than this one multiple times, the offensive line has given 1 sack this year.
Yeah, they have to get better offensively. I don't think Kelly or anybody would argue with that. One more thing before we take our first break. 499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. LSU did a lot of this tonight, almost the entire game without Whit Weeks, and then they lost West Weeks to an injury. Now, Kelly said West Weeks' injury is a calf. They don't think it's serious. Whit Weeks was ejected from the game for the targeting penalty on the first drive. We can do this all night if you want. Sing a song, pound your fist on that. This is the rule. I don't like the rule. I don't think that these plays rise to the level of an ejection from the game.
You get ejected from the game for doing something detrimental to your team.
Yeah.
He played ball.
Right. I have no problem with this being a 15-yard penalty. I have no problem with you getting a warning, and if this happens a second time or a third time, then. But this is a football play, and helmets are going to hit each other. By the letter of the law, can you say that this is targeting? Yes, the top of his head hits the guy's helmet, okay? Did he intentionally go out and try to do this? Almost certainly not. And I just think these kids work too hard. I think they spend. It's
a shame that, look, you know how much the Florida game means to me, Flynn, Hester. Like, this is a game that we have talked about. I talked to my dad the other day. 19 years since I played Florida in Gainesville in 2006, and I remember ever played a game. These games mean a lot to us. I mean, it is huge. And like, I don't know Whit personally. Like, I've met him a couple of times. But I know what football means to him, and I know what the brotherhood means to him, and I know what these moments you only get. I mean, you get 12 a year, 14 a year. It's a shame that for this big of a game and what it means to him, that he makes a football play and he's ejected from the game. Like, it's an embarrassment to me. I mean, you cannot do that to the kids, because I get malicious intent, and I'm all for it. I know a malicious hit. I know when somebody's trying to kill somebody. I know when they're trying to knock them out. And he's coming across the body. He didn't hit the guy heads up in the face. He came across the body. I mean, that's not intent. And he doesn't get to go home and have these conversations. Like, he's in 15 years, when they're talking about the game, he's like, I played the first series.
Right.
I didn't do anything.
I think they put in too much time to have it taken away on a football play. And that's just not just LSU. I don't like the rule. I've never liked the rule. I didn't like it when Devin White got suspended for the first half of the Alabama game for what was essentially a shove. But I also know that the intent of the rule was for player safety, and to that extent it has worked. And so I know it's not going anywhere. I have no problem with targeting being a 15-yard penalty. I wish they would take the ejection part out of it. If you get called for targeting, it's 15 yards, you get a warning. If you do it a second time, okay, maybe. And I'm not even wild about that, really, but I at least I could get my head around that. I don't think that one football play, and this is very much a football play, should garner an ejection. And it stinks for him because he gets this tape. How many hours do you think he's put in?
You know how much that game meant to him?
Yeah, how many hours that he's put in, not just this week, but all to play in games like this. And 3 snaps in, you go to make a tackle, you're hustling to the play, the helmets collide, and you're out of the game. All right, we'll take a break. 499-9898 is the number to call in the Hooters hotline. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Go Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides.
98.1.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day continues. LSU wins it by a score of 20-10. Hooters hotline is open. 499-9898 is the number. Let's start off with Joel in New Mexico. Joel, welcome into the show. Go ahead, Joel.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Just a lot of things to be unhappy about tonight, but we're 3-0. But my main thing is, when can we replace Sloan with Al Bundy?
Always when the offense is going south, it's either replace the quarterback or replace the play caller, right? And you're not replacing the quarterback, so you're not replacing the play caller either. But you said Sloan can't get hot; they can't get into a rhythm. You got any good theories as to why?
I think this is new to him. I mean, look, was he an OC at La Tech?
He's a quarterback's coach.
I just think that he's still figuring himself out. I have this feeling every week, and then I go back and watch the film, and I justify everything that he called and what he did, and I like some of the play calls. But I just go back to he hasn't gotten into a rhythm. He's a young OC, and he has good plays. He has good designs. But I go back to what I said. He just cannot get hot. Like, he cannot get into the rhythm to where he's up in that press box seeing something, and then the next 7 plays are the right calls. he calls 1 and then 5 are bad, and then 1, then 3 are bad, then 2 in a row, then 5 are bad. Like he just can't get hot. I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, I can describe it. It's a multitude of things that are not working. Okay, Nussmeier's been off. There's no question about it. The last 2 weeks, they don't have a traditional running game that they can hang their hat on right now. There's some big plays in there, but there's not a consistent run of positive gains. They find themselves too often in a lot of 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8s because the first down runs aren't getting a whole lot. I think the receivers have been pretty good, but there've been a couple of drops. Nothing serious, but a couple. There's been a couple of times where you've seen a miscommunication. Last week, I believe it was, or was it against Clemson? It was Trey'Dez Green, where he's going, you need to sit down right there in the zone. And you brought that play up. Well, tonight it was
running back.
It was Juwan Johnson. Yeah. So you got a little bit of that. I'm sure that there are some play calls that Sloan has made that he'd like to have back. If it was just one thing, but and none of this is terrible. Okay, I think they've got enough talent. If I didn't think they had enough talent,
nothing's unfixable.
Yeah,
there's nothing they got to wait to go to the portal to get.
Right, but you would like to see it further along at this point. But que sera, it's kind of where it is. You've got another game next week against an outmanned opponent. You can try to get better there, and then look. I've now watched everybody on LSU's schedule at least once, most of them twice. I can promise you that there's nobody out there that you got no chance to beat those guys. Nobody. I felt that way before the season, but I've seen everybody now. There are teams that when they play A&M. All right, A&M's offense looks fantastic. Their defense looks terrible.
I feel better about our defense. Like to your point, when I watch everything now, I'm not in panic mode because I don't think there's a team that we're going to play that our defense can't shut down.
Shut down.
10. We've 10. 10's the most we've given up. 10, 13,
17. If 17. You want to say the other field goal from Clemson was off of a turnover. They didn't gain any yards on that. I'm not counting that against them. 17.10 tonight, and the 7 against
tonight,
Clemson.
We lost. In my opinion,
the first team defense.
And in my opinion, we lost our best defensive player 4 snaps into the game.
Yeah.
So, I feel confident that this defense can keep us in any game. There's no game that I feel like I don't know how we're going to keep up.
They're deep. When you lose both of the Weeks brothers and you're plugging in. I mean, Devon Keys played the whole game tonight.
I think I heard Devon Keys led us in tackles tonight. You can pull it up. I want to say that even – West Weeks before he got out of the second tackles. 14 and 12. What did West Weeks have? 12?
Yeah, he had 12.
Okay, so look, those guys are our backups essentially, and this defense is rolling. We had 5 interceptions tonight. I don't know the last time this defense produced 5 turnovers in a game. I mean, that's incredible. But when you have 5 turnovers and you only score 1 touchdown, that's concerning.
There's no doubt. 499-9898 is the number on the Hooters hotline. Jim is in Houma. Jim, welcome into the show.
Bill,
welcome in.
Hey, Charlie, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Just first start off, you should have been the voice of the Tigers after Hawthorne. Remember that. That's always how it should have been. Then next one was kind of wondering why, with the stat would be of the last time, just like the previous caller said, that LSU had 5 interceptions in a game. How many points did we score? Had to be at least more than 20, right?
I would think, without having that number in front of me.
The previous caller was me.
And then the next one I would be talking about Brian Kelly's post-game presser. Little he is, I get it, I understand it, but do you think he might have a little more pressure on him? Because now, here we are, it's playoffs or bust. Got the team you've been talking about for how many years? He's established everything he wants, and there just might be affecting his decisions in game. Kind of play not to lose more because now it's you got to do it this year or chop and block that buyout. Will make it happen.
Thank you, Bill. The pressure, I think, is more self-induced. His job is not on the line, but he does realize this is maybe his best chance to win a championship.
First time he's had a defense that's worth bringing out to a championship game.
And he's got the pieces on offense. They're just not gelling at this particular time. They've got everything that they need, but it's not working right now. And like I said, I do think he's trying to keep the light on him and off of them. I think he's trying to keep the light off of his quarterback and his line. And so he got a little feisty tonight. Okay, I've seen worse. I've been in that exact same room and seen worse, okay, from other coaches. So I'm not – Kelly can say whatever he wants, but I think the pressure is self-induced.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it right now, if I had to put any type of blame, it's between Nussmeier and Joe Sloan. Because we had questions about the offensive line. They've given up 3 sacks. And I'm not saying they're great. I talked about the sacks last week. Both of them were on somebody else other than the offensive line. But we had the offensive line the previous 2 years that had 4 guys drafted. We still had an issue running the ball. I think it's a concept of what they're doing in practice, game planning, situational coaching, whatever. We cannot run the ball effectively. We cannot bully anybody up front. And I think it's frustrating to Brian Kelly at this point where he doesn't know what else to say.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, there's a lot of second down and 9s.
Look, the 4 guys that got drafted gave up 7 sacks to Florida last year.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I would like to see them run the football better. I think Brian Kelly would like to see them run the football better too. I don't think he's resisting that. 499-9898 is the number. Matt is in Florida. Matt, welcome into the show. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it was a couple years ago when Nussmeier went in the second half. He threw for like 300 yards, and the biggest problem was he was throwing interceptions, but he was throwing the ball down the field. And they said we threw 300 yards against Georgia and that defense. Now they kind of had the game put away, and I know they were a little lax, but still, I'm like wondering what the heck happened to that guy. And I'm guessing Denbrock was the offense coordinator, but that's not what I called to ask you. I think it was about 4 years ago. It was 2021 season. It was a post-game show, and it was one of the most entertaining shows I've ever heard you do. There's you and Condon, and I've been listening to you since 98 with 1300. You know the one I'm probably talking about. But Condon wants to know, he called me, he wants to know, are you still pushing Napier? And that's it. Anyway, so
no, it got a little traction. Went a little, and I'll be honest with you. And Richard and I have talked about that before. I resented the fact that I was being labeled as having a favorite for the job.
Yeah.
That I had some kind of personal stake in it. Okay, which I didn't. Okay. I got this job. I've been doing this for 25 years on this station. Doesn't matter. I've been through half a dozen coaches. Okay, I come to work no matter who's the coach, whether they win or lose. Okay, I want them to do well, but if they don't do well, I still got to pay my bills. I still got to come to work, and so it didn't matter to me. And the insinuation that, because I have never met Billy Napier in my life. No. When Hester and I were doing the show together, we had him on the air one time. He was a nice guy. He was the head coach at UL Lafayette at the time. And we had him on, I think it was during COVID, okay? And that was it. I've never met the man, okay? But because he was in Lafayette, he's not from Lafayette, but he was coaching in Lafayette, and because I'm from Acadiana originally, 50 miles south of there, it's like, well, you want this guy. And that pissed me off, okay? Because I didn't and still don't. It doesn't matter to me, okay, who the coach is. I've been, like I said, I've been here since the early 90s. I've been through a bunch of them. Bill, thanks for the Matt, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. Max is in Baton Rouge. Max, welcome into the show.
Hey guys. First off, can we get a wellness check on Glenn Guilbeau? I just want to make sure he's okay tonight.
Speaking of people pushing Napier. Sorry.
Yeah. So,
I had a conversation with Guilbeau today about Florida and Tennessee on Twitter. Guilbeau and I are fine, but yeah, he was pushing Napier now.
He's a smart guy. And, look, he was right about Jay Johnson, right? So at least he was 1 for 2. But anyway, my second question, I hear Joe Sloan and Nussmeier getting all the blame. I know he's a hometown guy, but Brad Davis, I mean, last year, all your linemen or 4 of your linemen get drafted. This year, less experience, but little improvement. I mean, we've now seen 3 weeks in a row, including versus Louisiana Tech, where we can't open holes up front. We can't run the ball between the tackles. And at some point, I think that's where the questions have to go. It's easy to blame the play caller, but if every first down run is putting you in 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 11, it restricts what you can do from a play calling perspective, and it puts your quarterback in a tough position. So to me, if there's anyone on the coaching staff that needs to answer questions, it starts with Brad Davis.
Thank you, Max. I appreciate the call. I agree. I think we have hinted at this a little bit, but it's time to start asking that question. You had a veteran offensive line last year and couldn't run the ball. You have a young offensive line this year and can't run the ball. You have draftable players last year and can't run the ball. You got 5 stars on this. It's a fantastic recruiter, okay, and that's wonderful, but you have to start asking questions schematically when you go through this long of a drought. And you're exactly right when you say this was covered up 2 years ago by Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels made anybody,
whatever the sack numbers were, give credit to Jaden Daniels because he avoided a lot of them.
And when your quarterback is your leading rusher, okay,
that's scary at all points.
Well, at this point in our football evolution, in the 80s when everybody was running the wishbone, okay, you could do that. But now if your quarterback's leading the team in rushing, and Jaden Daniels is about as good a runner as it gets, but that's not really – you don't want to put your quarterback in that position as much. So that covered up a lot of the problems that they had. And so this is 3 years in a row what you would call – I'm sorry to keep hammering the phrase over and over again, but you came up with it, so I like it. It's traditional running game.
Yeah.
And the traditional running game problems have lingered for too long. And when that happens, you have to look at the offensive line coach.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth on this because I think it's the style. It's what you want to do. It's an identity. And we go back to this because we talk about Les Miles days. We ran the ball over anybody. I mean, we busted people in the face. We were rushing for 200 yards a game, and everybody complained about the passing game.
I know, I was here.
Yeah, and so now it's, up until this year, we pass the ball up and down the field. There's no running game. And it's an identity. It's a group of guys that's got to gel together and do what you want to do. I think Brad Davis, look, passing-wise, they pass block pretty well. We've been up 3 sacks this year, and I think 1 of them is on the offensive line. But we go back to, I don't know when the last time we had a traditional running game. I want to say it's probably 2018 with Nick Brissett is when we had a decent running game. What was the guy that came out of USC? He took the fall for whatever recruiting violations, the guy that got fired. But those guys could run block.
I mean, Clyde had an exceptional year in 2019, but that offense was supernatural.
That Western Michigan game, and it was that 18 or 19, I can't remember. It was the first game when Joe Burrow came out, and we just freaking lit it up. He had
Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern, maybe. And I remember sitting in this room, and we're like, we only had 90 yards rushing. That's not going to work in the SEC. We had that conversation back then. And yeah, it is a big concern to me because I don't think we've ran the ball worth a damn in 4 or 5 years. And look, Brad Davis recruits well. He gets good guys in, but it's got to be a philosophy of the offense.
And I'm not telling you that it's all on him either, but I think it's fair to ask the question at this point. 499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. We'll take a break, be back with more of your phone calls. LSU wins at 20-10, Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile
98.1.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day continues. LSU wins it by a score of 20-10. 499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. Dan is in Metairie. Dan, welcome into the show.
What's going on, Charlie?
Hey, Dan.
Look, I need you to speak some confidence into me. 2 years ago we had an offense and no defense, and now we finally have a defense and an offense that can't score points. When you get 5 interceptions, you're going to win a lot of games, but eventually you're going to run into a point that tonight's offensive production ain't going to cut it versus the big dogs of the SEC. So how do you fix it? Where do you go from here? You're not going to make an offensive coordinator change in the mid-season. So what is it when you watch the tape this weekend and you say, where do we go from here? What do you do, Charles?
You're not going to like my answer because it's simplistic and I don't have anything better to tell. They're going to have to execute better. If I didn't think they had enough talent to do this, I would tell you. Like last year, the defense simply was not fixable. It was not in any way schematically, induced. Garrett Nussmeier threw for 4,000 yards last year. He's the son of a quarterback and a quarterback's coach. He has a very high draft grade. Okay. he can play better than this. I know he can play better than this. I've seen him play better than this. I think that, this group of running backs that you got are plenty good enough to win with. I mean, you may not have a Leonard Fournette in there, but you got plenty enough talent to win. You got enough receivers, okay, to win with. The offensive line is young, but it's not that young. I mean, you've got two guys that are both transfers that were 2-year starters. They've got, I think, over 50 starts between the two of them. So you got the pieces. If you didn't have the pieces, the conversation is moot.
Yeah.
Okay? That defense last year wasn't getting any better. The one 2 years ago really wasn't getting any better. I hold out hope that this offense can get better. I think they have the ingredients to be better. I had hoped that they would be further along by this point. But you can win a lot of games with a great defense and good special teams, and good special teams is a must, and a few playmakers. I was watching the other night the Bullies of Baltimore, the 30 for 30, that great Ravens team who had one of the best defenses in the history of the NFL. And they had enough guys on offense. Now, maybe a bad example because they had Jamal Lewis who could really run the football, but when they needed a big play, make a big play, but mostly they won it with defense and special teams. You can win a lot of games like that. It's not sexy, but like scoring, like I said, you score 40 points, you lose.
Yeah.
They've just got to play better within the confines of what they have. It's too late to change the offense. It's too late. You're not going to change the offensive coordinator. You're not going to change the play caller. You're not going to change the quarterback. Okay? I mean, if we had if Bryce Underwood were here, we might say, hey, you want to give him a series? You want to give him a package? You want to do something like that? Maybe. That's not the case.
That's not the problem.
Okay? No, your quarterback's got to play better. Your line's got to play better. Your coordinator's got to call better plays. You just got to be better. This is what you have. You can't make a trade with another team in the league and bring somebody else in at this point.
It's not players. I mean, look, I've heard my whole life defense wins championships, and that's true to a point. You got to put points on the board. But where I feel confident right now and where I'm not panicking is I think we got the best defense in the country. I think our defense is good. They can keep us in any game. And then when I look at the parts and pieces and then moments of the game, we have what we need on offense. I'm going to go back to it, and I'm going to beat a dead horse. We just cannot get in a rhythm. We can't get hot. Like, we can have a few big plays, and then we slump. But where my hope is that, Brian Kelly's been around a long time. Cortez Hankton, our passing game coordinator, has been wanted by a lot of other people. Joe Sloan is a guy that's been here for a few years. He's seen it. He's worked with Denbrock. There's something that they're going to come together eventually and I think put this together. But right now, I still feel like they're just kind of swirling.
Let me run this by you, and I'm not in any way advocating for this. I'm just going to throw it out there. What if they went faster? What if they went more tempo?
I think they play better when they're faster. I think when you take the pressure off of Nussmeier when he's just reacting. Look, but his issue when he plays fast is sometimes he throws interceptions, but you also get a lot of big plays. I wouldn't mind that, but like right now if that was the answer, we'd see it in 2-minute offense. We'd see him get into the 2 minute, and you see it all the time. People get into like 3 minute and a half, and all of a sudden everybody's like, why can't we do that the whole game? Like they drive the field in 3 minutes. We're not seeing that right now. I just think it's something that's not clicking. I have hope that they can put it together, but look, the one thing I can hang my hat on right now is I feel good about the defense.
And if you go fast and you don't make first downs, you put that defense
in pressure.
You put them in a compromised position because you put them back out
there.
You
heard Brian Kelly in the post game. He's like, we're winning with defense. And that's like in his mind right now, we're not gonna chance it on a deep ball. We're not gonna gamble on offense. We have a defense that can win games, so we're gonna rely on our defense to play their role.
2007, okay. Just how teams evolve. That defense was great at the beginning of the season. And then Dorsey got hurt, and it got worn down a little bit. Yeah. And at the end of the season, they were kind of struggling a little bit. I mean, by the time you got to the Arkansas game, they were kind of struggling a little bit. But the offense picked up the slack in a lot of cases. They got a little bit of rest, getting the national championship game, got Francois back, lights out, okay? Teams evolve.
Yeah.
This doesn't mean that they have to look like this for 12 games. They've looked like this for 3 games offensively. You can evolve. You can get better. That's my.
And that's why I say, like, I feel good right now. Like, the defense.
No,
if
you
our defense,
don't.
No,
You're mad.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
I'm mad. But I have a defense that can hold some. It hasn't given up more than 10 points this year.
Yeah,
like
17 points for the first team defense in 3 games.
You do that, look, we can figure it out on offense.
499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. Ben is in Baton Rouge. Ben, welcome into the show. Ben? Ben's gone?
Charlie,
Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Hey, look, you and Richard do a great job, and you guys deal with emotional LSU fans every Saturday night, and I just want to commend you guys for the job y'all do and just tell you thank you for everything you guys do.
Well, thank you for saying that. That's nice of you.
Just to kind of add to the show, not to harp on the offense, but I was at the game tonight. You don't get the benefit of replay and things like that, but it almost seemed like we were afraid of our offensive line, not protecting it. And it was a lot of quick stuff to the flats and things like that. We didn't go downfield as much, but when we did, it seemed like we were successful. And I just wanted to get you guys who know a lot more about football than I do, just kind of your take on that. It's almost like we're calling in fear of our offensive line and their lack of ability to protect. Just want to get you guys' thoughts. Thank you again, man.
Thanks, Ben. You know more about football than me, but let me give you my take and see what you do with this. In the absence of this traditional run game, what they've gone to is a lot of this quick stuff on the perimeter. These long handoffs is what it eventually is, what it looks like. The screen game has worked. And as they go from sideline to sideline with this stuff out on the perimeter, outside the numbers, they've moved the linebackers out. Okay, and that has created some seams in the middle of the field. And you saw Xavier Thomas caught a ball over the middle. Aaron Anderson caught a couple of balls over the middle. You had the big one to Bauer Sharp that was in the middle of the field. It opened some things up that way. I'm sure they would love to just turn around and hand the ball to running back and get 6 yards of carry. That ain't happening. So this is the alternative. That's my spiel on it.
I agree 100% with what he said. I mean, if you go back and watch our film studies on YouTube, we've talked about that. I think the Clemson game plan was built around unconfidence around the offensive line. Everything was screen, getting it out quick, short. You know, he averaged 2.2 seconds getting rid of the ball. They built the game plan against Clemson as we're not sure about that offensive line. You go to La Tech, I feel like they tried to push the ball down the field. They tried to do a few different – and I don't even know if it was a game plan. I feel like Nussmeier tried to push it and tried to force things because I went back and watched the film. There were guys on his first read and second read that were open that he didn't throw to, and he was waiting for somebody to get open deep. But, no, I agree that I feel like they covered that up originally, but right now I feel like you have to test them. 3 sacks in 3 games, and 2 of them aren't their fault. They're going to have to eventually push the ball down the field, and look, if it's the offensive line's problem, they got something to go back to.
Everybody loved the game plan against Clemson after the game. This is fantastic. Look how fast they're moving. But the idea was after that game, 2 weeks ago from tonight.
That was supposed to be an unbelievable defensive line.
Yes.
The guy that, Pat, whatever, they had some great players. I get why you built a game plan around that. The previous 2 weeks, we don't need a game plan around that.
Well, they scored 17 points against Clemson, which we thought was pretty good because we thought their defense was pretty good.
Georgia Tech scored 24, 20, whatever, 27.
That defense is overrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Forget about Georgia Tech. Troy scored 16 points on them in the first half. They're still a good defense, but are they an elite defense? No. I mean,
I don't think they're
not
a
from,
league team at this point.
They're not. They're 1-2.
Florida's 1-2. Like the only win we have against a team with a winning record is La Tech, and I know we're 3 games in.
I didn't really want to put it that way, but okay.
And I'm not talking bad. Like, I think this defense is elite. This defense is great. This defense is everything we've wanted for the last 5 years. But when you come into the season with everybody begging that Nussmeier comes back, you have these preseason Heisman, first overall draft pick. We got so many receivers, we don't know who we're going to throw the ball to, and then we don't produce. That's when people start asking questions.
499-9898 is the number to call. Cody is in Gulfport on the Hooters hotline. Cody, welcome into the show.
Guys, heading back to Richard Dickson country in the Gulf Coast of Mississippi there.
Yes, sir.
My few thoughts, defense, elite. DBU is back. The atmosphere was great. I think Nussmeier's trying to overthink a little bit too much on the offensive side, but hey, we got players, and I think that'll work itself out. And if Brad Johnson can win a Super Bowl as a quarterback and Trent Dilfer can win a Super Bowl as a quarterback, with those defenses, I think we're pretty good at LSU with Nussmeier at the helm. I'll hang up and listen to your guys' talk.
That's how I feel. I mean, like, I'm not panicking right now because I don't know who can beat our defense's ass and just wear them out to where we don't have questions. And I know what we have on offense, and I know that we have plenty of talent, plenty of opportunity. I feel like it's going to come together. Like I was telling you a second ago, I think, Joe Sloan is a young offensive coordinator. He's a young play caller, especially at this elite level. And when you break down the film, and I'm sure if you come back and watch Tuesday night when we break down the film, I'm going to have some plays that I think are awesome that Joe Sloan called. But I just haven't felt like he is – I'm going to keep repeating myself. He just can't get in a rhythm to where it's consecutive.
On the DBU thing, Deshaun Spears is a terrific talent.
Started the first game of the year last year as a true freshman.
Kind of forced because Sage Ryan was playing cornerback. They had some injuries and stuff back there. And we all said the same thing. The group of guys I was watching practice with the first day we were out there, it's like, this kid's going to be a player. He just needs some time. And then he got shoved out there because they had to, and he wasn't quite ready. Okay, so you go through that. And this year, because they brought in Halsey, who I love, and Cooley, who had a pretty good game tonight too. And so there's not room for Spears to start. This is a 6'3", 210-pound safety, okay? And he's a backup. And he makes two plays like he made tonight. You know how many people would love to have an athlete like this? How many teams would love to have an athlete like this?
5 picks tonight, 3 were by backups.
Thank you. And this kid brings one back for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Pretty important play in the game. 499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. We'll take a break. LSU wins at 20-10. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
104.5 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool.
98.1.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day continues. LSU wins it 20-10 to run their record to 3-0. 499-9898 is the number to call. Hooters hotline. Paul is in New Orleans. Paul, welcome into the show.
Thank you. You still got me?
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Hey, so I remember I listen to these shows, and y'all do a great show on my way home to New Orleans. And I remember the discussion about the run blocking, that the guys didn't have their pad levels at the right place. Y'all forgot more about football than I'll ever know. But can you comment on that? Because that seems like maybe that's something that hasn't been solved.
Rich, you watch the film over and over again?
I'm trying to think of what we talked about. I mean, in the combination blocks, it wasn't an understanding of, working together and when to get off, who's got the best position to go to the next level. I've said for a couple years now where when the run game's really well, we play with our pad level high, and you can never run block pad level high. Like, so pass blocking is everybody stepping back, head up.
Pass blocking,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, and we've been really good at pass blocking. I think that these guys have gotten used to it. Look, we're throwing the ball 40, 45 times a game. I don't know what we did tonight, but most of the time, these guys are working in pass sets, and it's a different style because when you run block, you want your head below the other guy's head. You want to play with leverage, and we've talked about this. Like, I'm coming from a different era where we were gonna run the ball, and that's what we did. And we played with guys that were 6'2", 6'3" on the offensive line. We played with former defensive linemen that guys were gonna blow off the ball. But yeah, it's an issue, and it's been an issue for a long time.
80 passes on the season, 65 runs, 27-25 tonight. They've been pretty balanced.
But what I would say, those run games, how many of them are outside runs, runs to the receivers, jet sweeps? Like, how many are, and we're not going to get this from looking at stats, but how many are traditional run games where hand in the dirt, we're going to blow you off the ball versus, getting outside?
I would say most of Durham's have been out of that traditional set.
Yeah.
That's 30 out of the 65, so just a little under half. And then Harlem Berry's got 7 carries. That's probably, so let's say a little bit better than half have come out of the traditional.
Yeah, and it's just something we haven't done in a long time. And, I've complained about it. I mean, look, we had 4 guys drafted. We keep saying that. And I never thought they were any good at run blocking. They were great pass blockers, didn't give a lot of sacks, but they were never good at it. And then it comes back to is it the Brad Davis? Is it a him issue or is it a concept issue? And I'm not sure yet.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not pointing the finger at anyone, but does the question need to be answered? Of course.
No.
If they don't, if they're not going through everything in the offensive film room and everything and asking questions of every specific coach, which I'm sure they are.
Look, the 4 guys got drafted last year, and we could not traditionally run the ball game. NFL scouts still drafted them, so they saw something in them.
Yeah.
I mean, so it wasn't something that they don't think they can't do. I just don't think it's something that they're doing very well.
Tommy is in Lafayette on the Hooters hotline. Tommy, welcome into the show.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the linebacker play tonight. We got to see all 3 weeks, brothers. One more week, we'd had a month, but with
pretty good.
Devon Keys, Devon Keys stepping in there and not playing with Wes Weeks for a lot of the game, and maybe becoming the communication guy out there, making the checks and things like that, along with the actual physical play, and really wanted to see what you guys saw from him tonight, as we got to see a lot more than just a couple plays here and there. And I'll hang up and listen.
I like him. I think he is a really good player.
I think the best thing you can say is we lost two of our 4 main starters, and we didn't miss a beat.
Devon Keys damn near led him in tackles last week.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just one behind Westweek.
Devon Keys played really good at the end of the year last year. And
he did.
He really came on.
He had the pick 6 in a bowl game,
Yeah,
didn't
in the
he?
bowl game. Look, Blake Baker's going to recruit linebackers, and the guys that he's going to put in the game know how to play. I feel great about all of our linebackers. I got nothing to say bad about this defense. Like, I think that you lost, to me, the best player on our defense. And I know everybody's going to say Harold Perkins, whatever. Weeks is the best linebacker we have. You lost his brother, which is probably in the top 3 that we have, and we didn't miss a beat. We just kept rolling.
And give some credit to Ty Singleton, who was pressed into duty tonight. I mean, that's a freshman.
Brian Kelly said he might have taken 3 snaps all year before tonight, and then he comes out there and just lights it up.
Yeah, that's really hard to do, what he did. 499-9898 is the number. Jules is in Abbeville on the Hooters hotline. Jules, welcome into the show.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Good.
We won the game, but like Richard said, who have we beaten? I just want to run over 3 quick things, and this is all early in the game. We had a 3rd and 4, and I hate it when the receiver runs the 3-yard route, and it's incomplete. Wouldn't have mattered if he caught it because he's going to be tackled. Then they had a 3rd and 1, and they are in the gun with Caden behind Nussmeier, and they run the ball and don't make it. And then they had the interception, first down pass to nobody. Then, of course, 2nd and 10, they're going to run the ball up the middle to Caden, no gain, and 3rd down, incomplete. It's the offense is really bad. The defense is stellar, and it's a shame that the offense can't get their act together. So, anyway, fellas, we won. That's what counts. Good night.
Thank you, Jules. I'm going to give you a chance to defend receivers that run 3-yard routes on 3rd down and 4.
Make the first down. I mean, look, I hated
they
it.
They didn't.
I know. There was a 3rd and 2 with Bauer Sharp on the flat route, gets caught for a 1-yard gain. Those are frustrating to me because, I don't know, it sounds cocky. I don't feel like I was going to get stopped for 1 yard. Like, I felt like I could move my body, adjust, but there's too many times we're throwing those short routes on a 3rd and 4 and below and getting stopped. Angle yourself a little bit better, get a little bit better depth. I'm sure that's something they're getting coached on, but those are will plays. You just got to go out there and make them.
3rd and 1 from the gun is not my favorite thing. I wanted to throw a party after the Clemson game when they ran a 2 quarterback sneaks from under center.
When he said that, I said, well, maybe we should have ran a quarterback sneak. I mean, that's been our best short yardage play so far this year.
Carter in Hammond is next on the Hooters hotline. Carter, welcome into the show.
Thank you all again. I just want to say Grant Chadwick, the punter, he looked pretty good tonight, and I'm glad to see that Nuss stepped up a few times and he started to run in that first half. That was a very good sign for that offense. But so the offense is just not looking right. I think they're going to start clicking after this Southeastern game. I think they're going to score a lot of points against Southeastern. Defense looked amazing again. Thank you.
It would be wonderful to see them explode against Southeastern.
Ordinarily,
I don't care whether they win those games, 38-3 or 68-3. But maybe next week I care a little bit more.
If they don't, I can't wait for that show because it's just going to get worse.
Chadwick was phenomenal tonight. He averaged over 50 yards a kick, but more importantly, put 4 of them down inside the 20, and a couple of them inside the, down inside the 5.
I think that goes beyond Chadwick. I think there was a lot of coaching on the gunners. I mean, look, he had a lot of punts in the Clemson game that hit on the 3, 4, 5 yard line.
Woodland knocked it in the end zone. Yeah,
I think this was more of them coaching up the gunners and putting more pressure on them to make the play because Chadwick has been putting the ball where it needed to go.
He is a major upgrade at that
100%.
position.
I mean,
and look, if they're going to win games with pitching and defense, you know, the punter's got to be a big part of that.
And the gunners do as well. I mean, the punter can put the ball down there. Somebody's got to stop it.
We'll take a break. LSU wins it 20-10. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. WDGL and HD1 Baton Rouge. Eagle 98.1.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to RP Contractors
98.1.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day continues. Tigers win it by a score of 20-10. 499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. Charles is in a meet. Charles, welcome into the show.
Hey, thanks, guys. I just have one question, and Richard's probably not going to like it, but Bauer Sharp is on the field a lot when we're in four wide. Why wouldn't we go four wide with all the receivers we have and get four true receivers on the field?
It's because you hold the defense to a position where they got to respect the tight end on the field. He's a guy that we brought in that can play receiver. Just no difference than Tradez Green. When we're playing those 12 personnels, 13 personnels, they got to make a decision on what defense they're going to run with, what they're going to do. And we're fortunate enough when you have an athletic guy like that, you can kind of push him outside.
But I get what he's saying. If you wanted to just go
four wide, like,
yeah,
you know, I hated four wide. Like I get why he said
to play. Yeah.
When they took me off the field, I was like, well, why? But I mean, I think in this day and age, in the gameplay is they want to keep a group on the field that they can run multiple sets and keep the defense on the field so they can't substitute.
Okay, well, that makes complete sense to. The substitution pattern.
It's a substitution deal. They feel confident that Bauer Sharp is no worse than their fourth receiver. So why not keep him in the field to hold that defense?
Tell me about the play that he busted.
The great play. I mean, he's an athletic guy, made a good catch, high ball. I'm questioning why we don't see more of those. He was across the middle of the field. Our best plays are across the middle of the field right now.
And don't you, again, isn't that
it's
a result of the screen game?
They were stuck into a defense that they couldn't get out of.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works fine, except they scored 13 points tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look.
It sounds good on paper, right? It looks good on paper.
And that goes back to what I said. Every time I watch film, I'm like, yeah, there were great things, but I'm going to sound like a freaking recorder. It's the play calling. He just can't get into a rhythm to where he calls 5 great plays in a row.
They were so dominated on, you know, the first downs and the time of possession. You know, these are numbers that if you look at before the game, you say, well, Florida's going to have more than twice as many first downs as LSU. So, well, okay, that's bad. They're going to have 50 more yards total. Okay, that's bad. But then the penalties and the turnovers. I mean, Florida's going to go back to Gainesville and say we beat ourselves. We threw 5 interceptions. One of them was run back for a touchdown. We had 7 penalties for 57 yards.
Is it the complete opposite of the game last year? We dominated field possession. We dominated.
Yeah, okay. I don't think LSU turned the ball over 5 times, but yeah, no, they just didn't finish drives.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had the 39 minutes to 19, 20, whatever it was. We dominated the stat board last year and lost the game.
Let's pretend for 30 seconds that we're doing the show in Gainesville. I sit there and go, Rich, they throw a pick 6, and we score an 87-yard touchdown and get it called back. I mean, we could have won this game.
We threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah, we threw right. I mean,
our defense only gave up 1 touchdown.
Our quarterback wasn't able to practice all summer. I mean, could you imagine?
I can justify it. It'd be a lot easier to be on that side of the show and be like, look, we just beat ourselves.
We'd have to be called the spinners at that point, but none of that is untrue.
It goes back to what I've said 3 weeks in a row. We have an elite defense. I don't know what we have as an offense right now.
Maybe Billy Napier's agent spends it that way. Well, it's not Billy's fault that Lagway threw 5 interceptions. It's not his fault that they got a penalty that called back an 87 yards. Well, actually, it is. Okay, and there's too many. There's too many. Their clock management. At the end of the game, you're only down 2 scores, and one of them's a field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a chance here. They don't look like they're in any big hurry. The spitting thing last week, I mean, I'm sorry, but from the outside, and I know Billy Napier did a great job down at UL Lafayette, and I think he's a quality guy, and I think he's probably a pretty good coach, but he's not coaching well.
No,
I mean, for these last 2 games, I can point a lot to the sideline and say, man, that doesn't look good.
He does a lot of things well, but he's not controlling the team. And I don't know if it's come to a point to where I tell people all the time is there's a respect level you got to have with your coaches to not do dumb crap. I don't feel like there's that respect level there right now.
That's probably fair. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, get you up to date on what's going on around college football. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business, 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there.
98.1. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Stat Check. Presented by Luba Workers Comp. Luba Workers Comp. Delivering genuine dependability.
LSU wins at 20-10. Here's what your yardstick looks like. Gators 23 first downs and LSU with 10. Total yards 366 for Florida, 316 for LSU. Passing, LSU 220, Florida 287. 33 of 49 for DJ Lagway, 15 of 27 for Garrett Nussmeier, 8.1 yards per attempt for LSU, 5.9 for Florida, and, of course, the 5 interceptions. LSU with 96 rushing yards on 25 carries for a 3.8-yard average. Florida 79 yards on 27 carries, 2.9 yards per rush. The third down conversions, LSU 4 out of 14. Florida was 6 out of 17, and they also made their only fourth down conversion. Penalties, each team had 7, 68 yards for the Tigers, 57 yards for the Gators. Turnovers, 5 interceptions for the Gators, 1 interception for LSU. Time possession favored Florida, 37-46 to 22-14. Individual stats, Lagway again, 33 of 49, 287, a touchdown, and 5 picks. Nussmeier, 15 of 27, 220 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Caden Durham led all rushers with 15 carries for 93 yards, 6.2 yards per carry, and nobody else gained more than 5 yards for LSU tonight on the ground. Jaden Ball, 10 carries for 46 yards for Florida. Receiving, Aaron Anderson, 4 catches, 75 yards. Bauer Sharp, 3 catches for 71 yards, including that 65-yard catch and run that set up LSU in great position. But that drive went to hell right after that.
Yeah.
They get the fumble that they lost, 13 yards or something,
Yep.
way back there, and then Nussmeier, they get the penalty on the play, and then Nussmeier throws the interception. I mean, when Bauer Sharp gets down there, like, okay, they're about to, punch this in and put this thing
Let's
away,
go.
and not so much. It went up in flames after that. Xavier Thomas, 4 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown. Vernell Brown, the third, 8 catches for 62 yards for Florida. Jaden Ball, 7 for 59, and Hayden Hansen, 7 catches for 50 yards for Florida. Leading tacklers in the game, Devon Keys, 14 tackles, 6 solos, had half a sack and a tackle for loss. West Weeks, before he left the game with what Brian Kelly called not a serious calf injury, 12 tackles and a tackle for loss. LSU's 5 interceptions were split up this way. 2 of them for Deshaun Spears, 1 for A.J. Halsey. Really nice break on the ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
1 for Tamarcus Cooley, and 1 for I'm missing. Who's the 5th interception? Halsey, Cooley, Spears had
Pickett.
2. Huh?
DJ Pickett.
DJ Pickett, that's right. Thank you. Those are your 5 interceptions. George Gums Jr., Gums, Gumbs, 5 tackles for Florida, including 1 for a loss. And the punting tonight, Tommy Doman, 43.4-yard average for Florida. He had 3 of his 5 punts go inside the 20-yard line. But Grant Chadwick, 7 punts, 50.4-yard average. 4 of the 7 went inside the 20-yard line, including a couple that pinned Florida down deep. He had a long tonight of 58 yards. So really good stuff from him.
I'd want to talk about the amount of people that question Harold Perkins in coverage. He was lights out tonight. He had 2 pass deflections, made some big plays. Again, the defense played lights out. Harold Perkins playing great. I feel really good about what our defense is doing.
He's his value is increasing by the week. The money he's going to make, because he's proving
he's back to where everybody thought he was as a freshman,
and he's much better in coverage.
Yeah.
Now I agree with you, and not just tonight. In all 3 games so far, he's doing really, really well. Happy for him. Nice piece today in the Advocate about his comeback from the injury and the difficulties with that.
Yeah.
His grandfather was involved, who passed away last fall. Nice article on Perkins' road back. Take a break. LSU wins at 20-10. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile bank.
Eagle 98.1. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. The Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln College Football Scoreboard. Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln on airline under the giant American flag.
This is where I get to say games in progress at 10 after 1 in the morning. Hawaii leads Portland State 17-0 in the third quarter. The last game on the mainland just went final. Cal beats Minnesota 27-14. You ready for the? I gotta look at my notes here. Freshman quarterback Jaron Keave Sangapulatelli. 3 touchdown passes for Cal tonight. Yeah, I've been working on that. He's really good. Left-handed freshman. Cal's 3-0. And Minnesota loses for the first time this year. All right, earlier finals. Number 1 Ohio State beat Ohio 37-9. 3 touchdown passes for Julian Sayin. He threw for 347. Penn State completes their preseason. They beat Villanova 52-6. Ducks coming in next week to Happy Valley. Number 4 Oregon. That's the Ducks I was talking about. 34-14 over Northwestern. Number 5 Miami took care of number 18 South Florida 49-12. Lengthy rain delay or lightning delay in this game, but Carson Beck threw for 340 and 3 touchdowns. Number 6 Georgia beat number 15 Tennessee 44-41. That was in overtime despite 4 touchdowns from Joey Aguilar. Joey Aguilar, the Tennessee kicker who had never attempted a game-tying or game-winning field goal. I don't know if they were going back to high school or whatever. Had a 38, was lining up for a 38-yarder to win it. Tennessee false starts. They got to back it up 5 yards. I don't know if that's what got him or whatever, but he missed this.
That's a psyche
badly.
move for a long time. I mean, that's a psyche move. Add 5 yards to it. I'm thinking more.
Tennessee's got to be sick because the first quarter, they score 3 touchdowns. I mean, they were going through Georgia like nobody's business, and they haven't beaten Georgia since 2016. They had this one.
Watching the game, Tennessee looked like the better team.
They really did for most of it. Give Gunnar Stockton and Georgia credit for coming back, and they win it 44-41. Number 7, Texas beat UTEP 27-10. But the story here is, okay, first week at at Ohio State, Arch Manning doesn't look real good. Okay. It's Ohio State. Second week, he doesn't look great. He kind of went, okay. He's still getting back into that. Arch Manning was 11 of 25 today for 114 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Now, he ran for 51 yards and 2 scores, but this is 3 games in a row. He has not thrown the ball well.
14-3 at halftime against UTEP. They were struggling.
You going to tell me something mechanically is wrong with him? We did this last week, remember? Grandpa's a quarterback. Uncles are quarterbacks. Sarkisian's the quarterback whisperer. He goes to the Manning Passing Academy every year. You're going to tell me that all of a sudden this guy's developing bad habits?
I think out of any quarterback in the country, that if you're going to talk about somebody who's playing with more pressure than anyone, it's him.
Fair enough, but he's also being coached by more quarterback talent than anybody.
He's also thought of more by his name and the quarterback coaches. Like I talked to a lot of people. Him coming out, they thought he was a great quarterback. He was a great high school player, good college quarterback. Nobody I talked to that watched him play in college thought he was elite, and I feel like that was the pressure put on him.
His name was Arch Jones. What?
He'd be the guy that I don't know.
He winced when he was throwing last week. They asked Sarkisian about it, and Sarkisian does his usual.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
And Sarkisian's got to do it with a little edge to him because he's like that. Okay, fine. Well, how come it looks like he's, getting stuck with an ice pick every time he
looks like he's short arm and everything.
Something ain't right.
Yeah.
Number 16, Texas A&M beat number 8, Notre Dame 41-40. This one was fantastic. Marcel Reed threw for 360 and 2 touchdowns, 34 apiece. Notre Dame scores a little over 2 minutes to go. The extra point, the holder mishandles it, so he's got to yell fire. He's got to bail out there, throws incomplete to the end zone. Texas A&M runs the ensuing kickoff back for a touchdown, but it's called back for a flag. They take a drive. They go down 4th and goal from the 11 with 13 seconds to go. They catch the winning, what ends up being the winning touchdown, and A&M does make the extra point.
I laughed just because you said the fire. Like
Isn't that what y'all called it?
I've practiced that play since I was 10 years old, and I've never seen it work.
Doesn't everybody call fire?
Yeah, everybody calls
universal code.
Fire.
Yeah, okay.
I've never seen the play work.
Number 9, Illinois. Hey, dash right 93 Berlin. That wasn't supposed to work either. Number 9, Illinois beat Western Michigan 38-0. Vanderbilt smoked number 11, South Carolina 31-7. Diego Pavia threw a couple of touchdown passes. Lenora Sellers left this game with what I believe was a concussion. Jordan, you were watching this game. It was a concussion that Sellers left the game with. He okay. Might not have been a concussion. Anyway, Lenora Sellers missed most of this game. Vanderbilt ran away with it after the game was tied 7-all after 1 quarter. Georgia Tech beats number 12 Clemson 24-21. 55-yard field goal at the gun. Haynes King threw for 211 yards, ran for 103 and a touchdown. Clemson falls to 1-2, and that doesn't help LSU one little bit. Number 13 Oklahoma beat Temple 42-3. Tell you what, right now in the SEC, who's playing better, Reed or John Mateer? Because those 2 guys are playing lights out. Mateer with another 282 yards and a touchdown. And what could have been a sandwich spot, a flat spot for Oklahoma, it was not. Number 14, Iowa State goes to 4-0 on the season. They beat Arkansas State 24-16, excuse me. Number 17, Ole Miss beat Arkansas 41-35. Austin Simmons did not start this game. He was dressed for an emergency. Trinidad Chambliss started this game for Ole Miss. Turns out the emergency came up. Chambliss got his hand lacerated. They had to go to the sideline, tape him up. So Simmons went in the game. But this was Chambliss' show most of the way. 353 yards and a touchdown for the Ole Miss quarterback. Taylon Green with 115 yards and a touchdown on the ground. This one went back and forth. It was 31-28 at the half.
No.
And LSU, of course, will see both of these teams later this year. Number 19, Alabama beat Wisconsin 38-14. Ty Simpson threw 4 touchdown passes, 382 yards through the air for the Tide quarterback. Wisconsin's starting quarterback was sidelined with an injury. Number 20, Utah beats Wyoming 31-6. It was number 21, Texas Tech over Oregon State 45-14. Number 23, Michigan beat Central Michigan 63-3. Bryce Underwood threw for 235 yards and a touchdown, ran for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. Number 24, Auburn goes to 3-0. They beat South Alabama 31-15. Number 25, Missouri beat UL Lafayette 52-10. The Penn State transfer, Bo Prabula, threw for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns for Mizzou. Nebraska wins over Houston Christian 59-7. Maryland over Towson 44-17. Virginia beat Bill and Mary 55-16. Baylor over Samford 42-7. Memphis beat Troy 28-7, and that doesn't really help anything either because Troy gave Clemson all they wanted. Buffalo beats Kent State 31-28. Ball State over New Hampshire 34-29. Delaware over UConn 44-41. That was in overtime. Rutgers beat Norfolk State 60-10. Michigan State goes to 3-0. They beat Youngstown State 41-24. North Texas over Washington State 59-10. This one was 42-3 Mean Green at the half. SMU beats Missouri State 28-10. Backyard brawl. West Virginia comes from behind. They beat Pitt 31-24 despite 303 yards through the air for Eli Holstein. However, Holstein threw a key interception in this game. Backyard brawl between Pitt and West Virginia. Now, where was I? My computer just skipped a beat there. Okay, Fighting Belichick's get their second win. They beat Richmond, North Carolina 41, Richmond 6. Cincinnati blanked Northwestern State 70-0. UTSA beat Incarnate Word 48-20. Toledo blanked Morgan State 60-0. A lot of blowouts today. Bowling Green, Eddie George gets his second win as a coach there, 23-13 over Liberty. Middle Tennessee edged Nevada 14-13. Mississippi State gets to 3-0. They beat Alcorn 63-0. Blake Shapen threw a couple of touchdowns before he left. Did I hear they shortened this game to 10-minute quarters in the second half? Did I hear that? Was that right?
I didn't, but that...
Check me on that one because I think they agreed to go to shorter quarters later in the game. Kennesaw State beat Merrimack 27-13. Marshall over Eastern Kentucky 38-7. Charlotte over Monmouth 42-35. USC goes to 3-0. They beat Purdue 33-17. Hand Barry Odom his first loss as Purdue coach. Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech 45-26. If you're looking for a candidate for first coach fired this year, you could do worse than guess Brent Pry at Virginia Tech as they fall to 0-3. Georgia Southern beat Jacksonville State 41-34. Georgia State over Murray State 37-21. Southern Miss beat App State 38-22. Rice over Prairie View 38-17. Kentucky over Eastern Michigan 48-23. Iowa beats UMass 47-7. La Tech over New Mexico State 49-14. La Tech's 2-1, and as Richard points out, you eternal optimist. The only team LSU's beaten with a winning record. Thanks. East Carolina shut out Coastal Carolina 38-0. How about the Green Wave? They hold off Duke 34-27. They led the game 24-9 at the half. Darian Mensah, the Tulane quarterback last year, now at Duke, threw for 313 yards and 3 touchdowns, but it was his counterpart, Jake Retzlaff, the BYU transfer, who stole the show tonight. 111 yards rushing and 4 rushing touchdowns for the Tulane QB. TCU beat Abilene Christian 42-21. It was Navy over Tulsa 42-23. Florida International beat Florida Atlantic 38-28. UAB over Akron 31-28. Utah State beat Air Force 49-30. Fresno State over Southern University 56-7. We gave you the Cal score 27-14 over Minnesota. Stanford beat Boston College 30-20. That's an upset. Stanford, one of the worst teams in the power conferences, but they get their first win tonight. And Arizona State beat Texas State 34-15. Sam Levitt threw a couple of touchdown passes for the Sun Devils, and that is your college football scoreboard.
Mississippi State and Alcorn officials met at halftime. It was 42-0 and agreed to shorten the game to 10-minute quarters after half.
I had a different idea for this game. You know what they should have done? They should have shortened it to 0 because those games should not be played.
42-0 at half.
I'm sorry. If you already know that these games are going to be 6, 7, 8 touchdown blowouts, why play them? I mean, really. I'm enough with the FBS versus FCS with the resources versus the resources, but now you're talking about one of the team from one, and look, LSU's just as guilty.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not singling out State, but you're talking about the most resource-rich conference and the most resource-challenged conference. The SEC and the SWAC, the gap doesn't get any bigger. Okay, and we've seen some serious injuries in these games. They're never they're rarely competitive. These games should not be played. I'm sorry.
Look, we go to last week. LSU Bradley Moore came back this week, but he's hurt. Trey'Dez Green. That's a game that I'm not excited about watching.
No, I'm sorry. It's just if you're shortening the game to 10-minute quarters, I mean, come on,
that's high school stuff.
It's high school stuff is junior high stuff, man. You know, it's like, hey, you ever coached a team of 7-year-olds against a team of 9-year-olds? Have you ever done that?
Yes.
It's late at night.
No, but when you said that, I was like, man, I've never heard about that in college. I know we did it. We ran a running clock in high school when we were beating somebody really bad.
Yeah.
First time I've heard about that in college.
That's your college football scoreboard. Game balls are next. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank & Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank & Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile
98.1. Eagle 98.1 Game Day, presented by Super Chevy and Yingling. Game balls.
All right, who you want?
I didn't think about game balls.
All right, well, you want me to go first? Okay, we only do this segment at the same time every week. I feel like I want to give it to everybody that played linebacker tonight.
I just want to give it to the defense. I mean, Spears gets my game ball, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I can't come up with an offensive one right now. I mean, Caden Durr made a great run, but like this team is built around the defense right now.
I got to go Devon Keys, 14 tackles tonight, half a sack, a tackle for loss. I want to give it to Tylen Singleton as well, a freshman who was probably coming into tonight's game thinking it's not likely that I'm going to play a big role on defense tonight, and had to do that. How about all the Weeks brothers? Okay,
I was about to say give it to the Weeks dad,
right?
Providing us with these 3 kids that can keep coming on the field and producing.
What? Witt gets ejected from the game. Wes gets hurt, and Zach gets in the game. And even Kelly said, I don't know if he kind of knew what he was doing, but he went out there.
That was the one comment I was like, Kelly, don't say that. He goes, he doesn't know where the Cox Academic Center is. I'm like, you can't say that. He's a true freshman. He's supposed to be there every day.
Don't do that. So we'll go with a lot of the guys on defense, all of the linebackers, and Spears, had a terrific game.
I'll give it to the offensive line. Look, they didn't give up a sack tonight. I think in the pass game, I'm gonna go back and watch this.
No.
We can't go there?
No. They scored 13 points.
No, I'm not saying anything about the rest of the offense. I just think the biggest issue we've had going into the season is not our biggest problem.
Fair enough, but 3.8 yards per rush, no, you can't do that.
I thought we had to give somebody on the offense.
No. Make up the rules as we go along,
All right.
man. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. LSU wins at 20-10. That's the biggest number that you need to know. We're back to wrap it up. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Family owned, fully involved, always on site. Start your build at wesleyusa.com or follow us on LinkedIn.
Eagle 98.1 WDGL and AC1 Baton Rouge.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart
98.1.
Eagle 98.1 game day wrapping up. LSU wins it by a score of 20-10. Rich, it wasn't on offense, it wasn't great, but it was enough. And defensively, it looked fantastic. So it's got a lot of characteristics similar to what they did last week against Louisiana Tech, except they did it against an SEC team. And the turnovers that they caused, we talked about the tackle for loss stat going into the game, that Florida might be behind the sticks a lot. They were some, but LSU made plays on a lot of these interceptions, on these turnovers.
We pressured the quarterback. He didn't have a lot of time in the backfield. We got after him, made bad throws that capitalized with catching the football. We're winning with defense right now, and the biggest confidence in the what's going to let me sleep good at night is I think we have the best defense in the country.
You may very well be right. It would be hard to argue at this point. Although, again, how good is Clemson?
Yeah.
How good is Florida?
Still right a lot of questions out
there. The Georgia Tech Clemson game, which was pretty much a statistical wash, and Georgia Tech wins a close game at home, has put a pretty big dent in the Clemson ornament that you were hoping to hang high on the Christmas tree there. I still think the win is a good win, but I no longer think. I thought when they left there 2 weeks ago, that had a good chance to be one of the top 5 wins in college football all season, and I don't think that anymore.
We currently do not have a win against a team that is considered dominant.
No, but okay, there's plenty of chances for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of chances. I mean, we're week 3. We're giving you our answer through 3 weeks. What I would say to that is there's still some questions out there.
Next week, LSU will play Southeastern. It's a 6:30 kickoff at Tiger Stadium. We'll be on the air. Eagle 98.1 game day. at 1:30 from Rouse's. Brian Kelly press conference is a part of Live at Lunch on 104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge on Monday, approximately 11:40 with the pre-show there. And the Brian Kelly Show on Thursday night from TJ Ribs. Final score, once again, LSU 20 and Florida 10. From all of us here at the flagship, I'm Charles Hanagriff saying thank you and good evening. This has been Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
You've been listening to an Eagle 98.1 special presentation brought to you by ESPN.